we lived in England for 6 years and had a weekend home. And we kept it when we moved to Singapore because it was a gathering point for the family from Germany. And we usually spent the summer there. So on the flight over, I read about a new sculpture park in the area being opened. And we went there and we loved it. It was a very wealthy businessman who retired and thought, this is my hobby. Never thinking he would sell. He commissioned British or other nationalities to basically create a sculpture for the site. But then people came and said, also corporations, and said, no, we want to buy it. So he kept, having changing exhibits. And we bought our very first sculpture there, which we could afford, by an artist. She was British, right? But then moved away to Hong Kong. And it went from there. Every year when we visited, we discovered something new. And we took our children, our grandchildren, and they all loved it. So that was our, intro to sculptures.
And we became good friends with the owner.
And we became, since we were one of the first to visit, we became friends with the owner. We bought quite a few there when they were still affordable.
And then we started basically buying what we liked. I mean, our sculpture collection is not sort of a specific style, but we bought what we liked. And, one story I always like to tell is I was on a business trip, Hannah was with me in Nigeria, and I said I would like to see a gallery in the afternoon, and in the morning I had 1 hour. They took me to a gallery and it was full of art, full packed. And there was one sculpture, it's the Afghan dancer, it's in front of our building. And I said, oh my God, I like this. Can you send this to the United States? Oh yeah, we pack it up for you, we'll send it to the United States. And Hannah had told me before, when you go to the gallery, don't buy anything, please.
We already have enough.
She went in the afternoon to the same gallery and she said, my husband bought this one, right? So, it's, we hardly ever bought something we disagreed. We wanted to surround ourselves with, sculptures which we both liked. One artist where we have 3 sculptures is Dom Ranbert, who came to the Waterfowl Festival. He's one of the few really more modern sculptures who is exhibiting at the Waterfowl Festival. And he lived with us every time the Waterfowl Festival.
Yeah, he stayed here.
And we liked his art and we commissioned 2 or 3 pieces. He is from Wisconsin. Another story I like to tell usually is there's a sculpture magazine, very famous sculpture magazine, and there were sculptures in there which we liked. And we didn't know where the artist was, so I sent him an email. He turned out to be in Australia, and he said, no problem, I can send it to the United States. And I said, well, how much is it? And it was outrageous price. I said, well, forget it. And then 3 months later, there was an artist featured and in the same sculpture magazine. And I said, don't even bother. This is, whatever is in the sculpture magazine is already very, very famous. I said, an email doesn't cost me any money. And he was a young professor in North Carolina, Pembroke, and he was very affordable still, and we became friends. Most of the artists who are living, that was the fun part of it. Basically, we met and they lived with us, stayed with us.
Yeah, we befriended them.
Yeah.
There was, we had bought, while we were in England, one sculpture, and we kept saying, why don't we have another one from the same artist, because they developed over time. And we contacted him. And he said, no problem. I can come to the US and I can create one. And he sent us drawings and I picked one. He said, well, you picked the most complicated, but I can do it. I'll come. And he came in October with his son. They stayed in our guest cottage and he didn't bring anything. And Peter was totally shocked. So we went around finding tools and things, right? Luckily he had your shoe size. Nico van Vos. he lent us all his tools. He was thrilled, and so, Walter Bailey used the tools.
Walter Bailey works with wood, basically.
He worked with wood.
So we had a huge trunk delivered.
Tree trunk.
Delivered. And out of this trunk, he
came the sculpture in the end.
the sculpture.
Yeah, they stayed
in 6
here
weeks.
6 weeks.
It was fun. We had dinner with them every night,
It was fun.
My wife, I have to say...
Well, Carla, we went to Carla's all the time.
I see.
Yeah.
My wife is extremely well-versed in art, much more
Well,
than I am.
we went to the gallery at the college because I think it's a neat little gallery, and she has sometimes very cutting-edge art. I love that. And so we had already a connection. Also, our grandson, years ago, when he was in high school, he went to a robotics course in the summer in the college. Yes.
That's why we got exposed to Chestertown.
That was actually the first time we went, really, and looked around.
And the people at Chestertown were very excited. I mean, you know Ben, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Ben Tilghman
Tilghman.
was excited, and
John Schrottwieser.
John
Trump,
Trump.
they were very excited. And
Kay
they,
McIntyre.
Kay.
It's a wonderful group.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Very.
And they
it's a
made
great
us
group.
meet with the town manager and with the mayor and recently. And Chestertown really was very serious about this. They really wanted that. And the interesting thing is we informed the artists about it, and they're excited, of course, because they have more exposure than on our place,
Yeah.
which is great.
And they're not moving all at the same time. They find a specific spot. So we had one sculpture by an artist from Martha's Vineyard, a reading dog, and that goes in front of the library. And then we have the butterfly. I don't know whether you saw it when you drove in. It's a Ghanaian woman, and they will go in front of the elementary school. So they already picked that, and they picked others where to go.
Well, as I said, we're both very happy for the artists because they're all excited. Every artist we informed, they said, "Oh, this is great. We'd love to come." And the college, Ben said they might want to have them give a lecture at the college, perhaps about their art and what
Well,
they were
at least a
thinking.
talk,
and
yeah.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.